What's up, guys? Welcome back to All Purpose Builds. My name is Lewis, and today we're going to be doing the auto to manual SC300 W58 conversion. I don't know if the title is going to be in that specific order, but those words need to be in the title because it's that specific. Over the last week or two, I have been doing tons of research on how to basically do this auto to manual conversion the most effective way. And let me tell you, there is tons of information out there. On Clublexus, there's about, I would say, like over 100 threads just referring to auto to manual conversions, different conversions between transmissions and swaps. There's just a ton of information there. But I could not find one thread that specifically outlined the W58 conversion on auto SC300 from beginning to end. What I did see is this specific user, Con BB6, he's a moderator on Clublexus. He had tons of information on just about every post that I clicked on. So he's a fountain of information, and it seems like he's so very active on the forum. So if you have any specific questions, I would suggest you reach out to him. With all the information on Clublexus and all the information on YouTube and the other media outlets, I was able to create a file outlining everything that needs to be done and as many of the options as I could find for each thing that needs to be done. So in the description down below, you will see a link that leads you to Clublexus, and there'll be a thread started by me going over everything. I suggest that if you haven't already bought the parts that you need, you look at the post, and at the bottom of that thread, you'll see a bunch of links all referring to different other threads that shared some of that information that go more into detail about a certain topic, whether it's the wiring, the drive shaft, the ECU. There's just a bunch of different links down there that'll point you in the right direction. Also in that thread, you will see an outline of all the parts necessary to do this and where to find them. So with that being said, I'm just gonna get right into it. First things first, transmission tunnel. So there's different ways to go about this. You could cut it up, you could get an adapter, or there's two different adapters you could buy for it, or you could just replace the whole tunnel. Being that I have access to Toyota parts, I just decided to go with the tunnel. Reason being that I feel that this is the most efficient and proper way of doing it, just to avoid any mishaps with cutting holes too big or just fumes and the heat getting into the cabin. So with that being said, right here I have Mark IV Supra transmission cover. So again, in the link in the description below, all the parts lists are there, part numbers, everything you need that I'm using on my conversion is all there. So I've never done this before. There's also a link to this in the link below, in the thread below. However, all the pictures are gone because it's an older post, but I will do my best to detail that as much as I can here so you guys can use this as a how-to. Okay, seats were not that hard to take out. They're just very heavy, and if your motor doesn't work on your seat, I don't know how you're gonna do it. But there's 5 bolts. There's 2 in the front, 3 in the back. They're all 14s, and there's also a clip. I don't know if you guys can see it, but there's a clip underneath the seat that you have to unclip before you could pull the seat out. Once you do that, you can pull the seat out and start working on the rest of the interior. So next is going to be the center console. Let's get into time lapse. Oh! not terrible. Seems like it meets somewhere underneath this sealer here. But it goes way further down than that. Interesting. I guess the only way to figure it out is to just keep taking things off. There's no way this car's gonna run after this. You see these two bolts here? They're just two plugs on this side. Where are they? Oh, there's not two plugs. There's actually things in there. Interesting. Okay. I guess this is for left-hand drive and this is for right-hand drive, the e-brake. I guess it's universal. I'm just kind of afraid because this shift tunnel does not go all the way down to the ground. Put on this side so you guys can see. You see? So how is this all gonna go in? I mean, there is spot welds right here, but I don't see a seam. Is it possible that this is from underneath? Could that be a thing? I don't know. We'll figure that out later. Let's just keep removing this stuff from here. Spent all this time trying to figure out how that fit onto this, and the hardest thing was that you can't really see a seam right here, and the way you see where these two bolts line up there's this indentation there, but I don't see that here. I don't even see the provision for the hole that's right there. Turns out, like I thought it would be, it's from the bottom. So this piece would go up from the bottom, and that's where it goes welded. So that means I have to drop the drive shaft and everything else before I could do this. So because I don't plan on doing that here, I am still gonna knock everything down and take that off. At least get that like hanging on the drive shaft or something, so that when we go to do the transmission, I could quickly put this up and tack it in and then move on with everything else. So with that being said, I can't even see the spot welds because look how thick this seam sealer is. Let's see with the screwdriver. Sorry. Oh shoot. This thing is just, oh, there's a spot weld right there. See? Spot weld right there, right there. And I guess the spot welds are gonna be on the side. Unfortunately, this thing doesn't come with any of the spot welds marked out or drilled out or anything. So I kind of have to figure this one out on my own. So I'm going to take a quick little break and I'll be back to finish this off. finally out of there. So as you guys can see, there's a lot of holes. So these holes are already there. So there are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 spot welds you got to remove on the driver's side. There are 7 on top. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. These are right underneath the SRS module. And same thing on the other side. There's going to be 10 on that side as well, on the passenger side. So now, as you guys see, we kind of in a debacle because we got it out, but we can't put this one in, obviously, and we can't take that one out. So what that means is we're gonna have to start taking out the trans here. We're gonna take the car to my cousin Eric's job on Saturday to do the rest of the swap. But in order for me to do what I had to do for prep work, I have to do it today. And it's pretty late. It's like 5 or 6 o'clock, and FedEx still hasn't dropped off the package, which is pretty unfortunate. So that'll have to be for tomorrow. But today, let's lift up the car and start removing the trans so we could take that. I think if we remove just the drive shaft, we should be able to drop this out. I think so, because we could probably slide it backwards like that, hopefully. So we'll start with the drive shaft, work our way around it. Ooh, fits snug in there, baby. Yes, sir. The best way to be able to put this in there, to make sure it's aligned properly, would be to put the 217s for the e-brake bracket handle, and then also install this SRS module again, so that'll hold it up right here, and it has 2 bolts back there, so that'll align it good here. Same thing goes for that, and then once it's nice and snug, we'll just start welding it up. Hopefully I should have probably grinded this down. So this is what I'm gonna do. So I'm gonna align it up, and then I'm gonna mark out with a Sharpie marker where these spot welds are, and then I'm gonna sand them down so that we can weld right to that, and then we'll be done. So little recap what we've done so far. So we had to remove the whole interior, we had to remove the whole automatic assembly. It's once you get to this part, you unscrew the 4 bolts on the shifter lever, and there's a cotter pin that just holds the actual shift linkage up here to the shifter on the transmission. Once you remove that, then you can remove all this and you have this clear here. You can go through the, I believe, 17 spot welds, remove that. I had to remove the drive shaft, but if you're doing an auto to manual, your transmission may be already out in the drive shaft, so then you don't have to worry about that. You hit it down and you just push this one up and line it up, and that's it. So far that's what we've done. Just want to give you guys a reminder, I do have all this on regular, like a regular recording. It's not all like sped up. I just put it that way so you guys are not bored in the time. But if any of you guys need any like information or specific videos, part of the video slowed down, I do have it. Just send us a message on our email or on the Clublexus forum, and I'll try to get that for you guys. So with that being said, let's align this up. Well, bolt in the e-brake bracket and the module here, mark out the spot welds, take this out again, mark the holes out, sand that down, and then start welding. Alright guys, before we start taking this, sanding this down for the welds, let's just compare the two. So, side by side comparison. You can see NA only has one side that goes all the way down. Not NA, automatic. Manual has both sides. Therefore, the spot welds aren't completely identical. So, going over the spot welds again. This is the this is the driver's side, top, passenger side. So, on the passenger side, you have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. 13 spot welds just on the driver's side. And it goes all the way up to the bottom of the radio console. So when you remove the radio bezel, you have to remove a little bit, as you guys saw earlier in the video, of the sound deadening just up top, and you'll see the last one be exposed. Like I said, there's a specific measurement between these all here, and that's how you'll get them. On the top, you have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So 8. Another 3 on top, right underneath the radio console. 1, a little bit center line, or actually right in line with the frontmost e-brake bracket bolt, and then right behind that there's 2 centered and 2 outer ones, which then brings us over to the passenger side, where there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 spot welds. Again, there's a specific distance between all these spot welds. I'll put it on the screen here, and that's all the spot welds you have to remove. Once you remove all those, you just knock it down, and you have to remove your automatic transmission or your drive shaft to get it out. Again, you're doing this, you probably already got that far. I'm just getting a little ahead of things because I have a time constraint, or I want to get things done faster tomorrow, because tomorrow's when we actually swap the transmission. So I gotta quickly clean up these, or grind these down. I don't know if I can weld right to this, but just to play safe, I'll grind these down and then put it back in, weld it up. Put it back in and start welding it up. As you can see, it's all welded in. The camera keeps cutting out for one reason or another, but I was just welding it. So all the spot welds are welded in completely. I pushed the tunnel down a little bit because I did pry it a little bit. So I welded it, then I pushed that down as much as it will go. I'm not gonna like bash it. I just tapped it with a hammer, so like it went flat. And then I do have to seam seal everything, but once I clean it all up. And then I'm gonna see if I could maybe get some sort of like dynamat or some sort of like sound barrier that I could install on the car early in the morning before I have to, I want to put the interior back together, so once we do the trans, we can just drive the car. distance of making things pretty. So in the morning, I'm gonna go pick up some seam sealer and see if I could get some sort of Dynamat, something maybe at Home Depot. And I'm gonna get some black paint, black spray paint, and then I'm just gonna paint this black, seam seal this here, and then put as much, you know, kind of just want to cover anywhere for as far as sound deadening. I just want to cover up anywhere where I, you know, welded through. That's gonna be probably the loudest there. All right, guys, it's 12:30 in the morning, and everybody's sleeping. But I just got back from AutoZone, and we're gonna finish the interior now. So we have duplicate color, original Toyota. It's like a matte or semi-gloss black, which is perfect for the interior. Gray seam sealer, and then a caulk gun. So it's gonna quickly do this on a time lapse so we can start putting the interior together.